Yo, I want to chill right now.
You're disrespecting me in a public forum right now. You realize that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want that to be the goal of the podcast, for somebody to let go of their worries in the world and listen to us.
This is my new look, Daddy David. Daddy David.
Born to procreate. Born to procreate. Yeah, that better make it in the intro.
Nah, probably not. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to episode 87 of the Unboxing Life podcast. I am Cameron. I am one of your four hosts for today. Today on the podcast, we are going to be having a sort of a half movie box, half variety box. We'll see what we get to, kind of a thing. But the thing we are definitely covering, first and foremost, is the movie Wolf of Wall Street. I cannot tell you what year it came out because I forgot to look that up.
2013.
But it is a movie based off of the memoir written by Jordan Belfort, or narrated by him, whatever. Anyway, it's based off of the white-collar criminal Jordan Belfort and his escapades in the stock market. And so if you haven't heard of it, I'm surprised, but now you have. So we're going to get into it. So with me today, I got my boy Treasure Coon.
Oh, baby. I don't change my name because I'm an idiot.
Okay.
Welcome back.
We also got Amo.
I also don't change my name, but I am also not an idiot, but I am. So.
Oh, damn.
There we go.
And then we got this man over here twinning with Leonardo. What are you doing over there, Gemini DiCaprio?
What's up, Gemini DiCaprio? I am a Gemini, as opposed to Leo DiCaprio. Do you guys get it?
Wow.
Oh, I do get it now.
Jesus.
Okay.
Are you
What's
an
up?
old school Gemini, though?
I think I am.
Oh. New flow is coming soon, brother.
Indeed.
All right. Well, there we go. There's the whole cast for you. We're going to jump into our deep-rooted analysis, just us shooting the shit about a funny
About
movie,
shooting the
honestly.
shit,
yeah.
literally, yeah.
It's just going to be talking shit, not making you feel bad, whatever. We're going to do traditions first. So,
Yeah.
I believe we're going to kick it off with the track of the week. David, what do you got for
okay.
us?
Thanks.
Give it to
I'll
us,
go
big
first.
boy.
I will give it to you. I decided to
Come in there, bitch.
Isolate that. Someone isolate that.
Isolate that. Yeah, I decided to go with the classic track "You Don't Know" by Jay-Z, just because.
Nice.
Shit. All right, chill.
I mean, we already have talked about this album, but I cannot recommend this track enough times to people out there if you haven't heard it. It's
Okay.
and it, it fits the persona of a high class, rich, sell water to a well, whatever it is, just fits that persona very well.
It's a well.
I feel like. Okay.
Well, you could sell it to a whale too.
I feel like that's an
Home
expression.
could definitely
too.
do that.
Yeah, exactly.
What are the other,
The ultimate
like
salesman.
Ice to Eskimos is another one, right?
I could sell fire in hell or something like that.
Yeah.
So ice in the winter, fire in hell.
Fire in
I sell
hell, that's what
water.
it is.
Yeah,
Ice in the
I'm a hustler, baby.
I'm a
I can sell
hustler, baby.
Water to a
yeah.
well. That's good.
Sheesh.
That's good.
Yeah, one of the best freaking hip hop tracks ever made. Frick what you're talking about. I don't give
Yep,
a frick.
I agree, man. You gotta
Yeah.
put the gun down. It's fine. Don't gotta sway me.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm gonna have to either ask you to order or get out of line. This is a Wendy's.
Damn.
No, it's so I'm glad you didn't do it because it would have been a bit on the nose and also not that sick of a track and definitely not as good of a track as You Don't Know. But are you aware of the track that's just called? I think it's just called Jordan Belfort.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
It's like it's
Who's it
by?
this.
Uncle Johnson's
You
on.
guys would probably hate it. It just goes like, I've been stacking dirty money, Jordan Belfort, stacking
Oh,
penny
yeah,
stocks
no.
while I'm flipping these birds. It's just
those
like
are
it's
just like the gold. Those are some heavy bars.
yeah, dude. It's you guys probably wouldn't like the track, but it's a good meme. It's a good little
is
joke
it?
of a track. I don't even know. It's probably someone you've heard of, but I can't put my finger on it. So
Dang.
I can't remember right now. But yeah,
What a star-studded track.
yeah, right.
Definitely run into that one.
It's probably someone you heard of. Nah, he was probably big for a little bit. I don't even know. But anyway, glad he didn't do that. But that exists just in case anyone wanted to go poison their ears.
Right.
So yeah, there we go.
Who's going next, brother?
I believe we're gonna have the joke next.
Oh, frick me. So I'm unoriginal, and this joke comes from my friend Rabid Mechanic. So shout out.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
The
He
guy.
likes
shout
to
out.
do. He likes to post some dad jokes in his Discord, and I thought this was pretty good. So
Go give
it's a little bit of a fact. It's a little bit of a fact. So
go give him a
did
follow
you
on
know?
Twitch.
Give him a follow on Twitch. Why not? Rabid
Oh,
Mechanic.
for sure. Rabbit
Mhm.
underscore mechanic. Great
There
guy.
you go.
Yes, sir.
But the main question is, did you know that milk is the fastest liquid on Earth? Because it's pasteurized before you ever seen it.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
I like that
I
one.
love it.
Wow.
I like it. Yeah.
Past your eyes.
Pasteurized.
That's a bar.
I
We're
really
going to
wonder
pass
if
it on to the next tradition.
homie's just like sit down and stare at a dictionary and see if you can mispronounce it to sound like something else sometimes.
Right.
That's how Eminem writes his rap.
Yeah,
so,
no, it is.
yeah.
It definitely is. That's
Yeah.
that's an Eminem dad joke for sure. That's hilarious.
Fuck Eminem.
Hey, come on,
Dang.
bro.
So aggressive.
Do you
I guess
have
I just was.
do you have
kid, so-
a more original and inspired quote than "fuck Eminem" for your actual tradition, Trev?
So it's not exactly inspired or anything. It's not original, but I mean, it is from Martin Scorsese's mouth from a couple years ago when he
Okay.
was, I believe, when he was promoting something that he had on Netflix.
The director of
Sweet.
One Wolf of Wall Street, of course.
Yep, and Taxi Driver and Goodfellas, all that good shit.
Many.
So he was interviewed, I guess, and I'll take this from mentalfloss.com.
Nice.
This quote has been everywhere, so this source doesn't really bother me, but it says the Goodfellas director admitted that he doesn't watch MCU films anymore, explaining, "I tried, but it's not cinema. Honestly, the closest I can think of them, as well made as they are, with actors doing the best that they can under the circumstances, is theme parks. It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences to another human being."
Dang.
How do you guys feel about that?
I feel
I
like
know this is like 2 years old, but
I feel like he's trying to define what cinema is, but it doesn't have to be just that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
right,
Yeah.
Right.
The whole "that's not cinema" thing is like where it's like, all right, I stopped
Yeah.
listening.
It seems like he's reaching back to like a time when movies were made a different way, maybe, and he was around in the 70s. So maybe he's just obviously he's coming from his experience of trying to, I guess, put them down. But yeah, you don't need to define what
Yeah.
cinema is. Just
He also justified his take with another follow-up statement, like after that, and he said something along the lines of, "There's not too much like on the line." Like they're kind of predictable, there's not really that many characters that are be like, "Oh, this one's gonna die," that's why Infinity Ward was like, Infinity Ward. Wow. Infinity War
They got you,
was such
buddy.
a big deal because they actually died, like,
right.
so it kind of
Yeah.
put the formula, turned it on its head. But for the most part, I agree with that sentiment. You can kind of go and watch Shang-Chi and you can be almost guaranteed that none of the characters that you really care about are going to die in that movie. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
other
I mean,
than that, I disagree.
I
Yeah.
definitely get the metaphor. I respect and understand the take as long as he's like, and for that reason, they shouldn't exist at all. Like, if you're saying, like, it's not real cinema and therefore it shouldn't exist, then, like, no. Like, it can still be entertaining. There's still money to be made there. There's still, like, a lot of value in what those movies do. I understand what he's saying from, like, an artist standpoint of, like, one of the great directors of our time, of he controls every shot, all the cinematography, all the character work, like everything is supposed to be like down pat and to the wire. And like you're saying, like if you use the amusement park analogy, it's like you go on a roller coaster, but you're never going to fall off that roller coaster. The roller coaster is never going to like lose a bolt and collapse or anything like that. Like it's always going to go
Hopefully.
the way it's always
You hope,
like it's
yeah.
going to be a cool ride, but like in a perfect world, right? So it's going to be a cool ride. You're going to go dips and spins and everything, but you're never going to feel like your life is actually in danger or anything like that. And I think that makes sense in terms of speaking about, Marvel movies in that way. But yeah, I'm the biggest Marvel fan just about, so
Yeah, I'm rewatching all the movies currently, so
so
I enjoy the series quite a lot.
I'll live and die by them. I understand the idea of them not being like individual art pieces in the traditional sense of cinema. But yeah, as long as he's not saying like, and therefore they shouldn't exist, then I'm fine with him having that opinion. It makes sense.
I mean, I feel like him as a director has a unique perspective than we would have just as consumers of movies. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, he knows what it's like to be there and directing a movie, so he would look at something and be like, "That's an interesting design choice or decision." But like someone like us, we wouldn't think of the camera angle or whatever. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Damn, do you feel like if you were like a director or even like a sound engineer for like an album or something, and that was your job to make movies or to make music, do you think it would like completely change the way that you watch them? Like you wouldn't be able to watch them as a fan, or you would have to literally like consciously put yourself in the like the viewpoint of a fan and not someone like critiquing it because you've done it.
I think
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it depends on who you are. Like I've heard interviews where like some directors or actors will be like, I can't turn it off at all, or some will be like, I'm just a fan. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like for movies, you could enjoy other movies, but like your own movie that you worked on would probably be like
Mm.
like kind of ruin it for you, like that sort of facade of watching it when you know everything, like you were there. And I mean, that's a cool experience to have, but
Yeah.
Right.
it might affect movies that you worked on and not ones that you haven't. Or maybe it could. I don't know.
Yeah.
In
Like you
a,
just enjoy stuff in a different way. Like you just appreciate, like, wow, how they got that shot, and that's crazy. And
Right.
the work it took to make that.
Right.
in a weird way, and definitely not to the same degree as you're describing, but it's kind of already happened to me with reviewing anime for the podcast, because it was in the stint where we did like Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero like back to back to back, and so, or just about back to back, and what was the other one we did? I don't know, whatever. We were doing a music series at the same time, that's why. So all that was happening, and I was only watching anime in a critical sense, in like a, what am I going to say about this on the podcast? Like, I've already consumed this content. Well, yeah, so AOT, Jujutsu Kaisen, and My Hero, when we did them, were all rewatches for me. So all I was thinking about when I was watching them was like, oh yeah, this is sick, this is giddy, and obviously all those shows have moments where you're like sort of getting into it and you can't control your hype and stuff like that, but it was like I was very like single-minded. And so another time I was watching like very like in that same time period I was watching Haikyuu, which is just a volleyball anime. It's like pretty safe, good bet. It's a good show. I recommend it. Anyway, and I was realizing that as I was watching it, even though there was no chance we talked about this on the podcast for probably like years, if we get to it ever at all, I was like, what would I say about this in the podcast? What would I say about this in the podcast? Like, how would this moment break down in the podcast? And that was when we were trying to like improve our formula too, and like talk about stuff in a more like concise and entertaining way. And so I was just like, I found myself like just like not being able to switch it off, and I had to like take a step back and be like, yo, just enjoy the fucking show. Just watch the show like you have been doing for years, and you'll be fine. And I was able to sort of like switch myself out of it. But yeah, it definitely does happen. And so I can't imagine, I mean, I do that with an amateur podcast that we run, so I can't imagine the degree to which it would happen as like a professional artist in that setting of like not being able to switch it off or having such distinct opinions. I mean, as someone like Scorsese, I could imagine you would value your own opinion very, very highly, considering other people do so frequently, and you've made a lot of money off of how you think a thing should look. So
I think if I was a sound engineer for, you know, just music in general, and I was literally mixing albums for a living, I already pick apart mixes as it is. So if I did that for a living, I it would ruin music for me. I'd be like, why would you EQ it like this? Where's the bass? Where's the, you know, where's this? Why is this not here? You know, like I would just surgically decompose it for no reason, and it would just ruin the experience.
But for tracks where it's like everything is hitting right to you, that's when you would be able to appreciate it
But
more.
that's far and few between. Most albums don't get mixed the way they should. Let's be real.
Mixed the way you want it to. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, case in point, fucking Drake still has mixing out or issues. Like that Fair Trade joint he's still low in the mix. There was one song on Scorpion called "Talk Up," and it's literally lower than every other track on there. Like if you listen to that entire side A and then you get to track or to Talk Up, it's like the last track on there, or like the second to last track. It's so much lower, and it's like, how do you fuck that up with $1 million budget?
Yeah, it does already drive me crazy when a big budget album has weird mixing stuff.
Yeah, like ugh. But not
sure.
to go on a tangent. We still haven't even gotten through traditions.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit mine here.
Yeah.
We're gonna
yeah.
jump into the fact.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Alex get the border off his screen.
Beat him up. Beat him
Although
up.
You probably really can't even tell, B, just with
Yeah,
that
it's just so
outline
freaking
over
bright.
it.
But
Oh, yeah.
With the outline over it, you won't be able to see it, but it's just for us.
motherfucking birds. I'm not
Yeah,
flagging
you
this.
can
up.
you can basically barely see it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I already did the whole thing with the note anyway. So, and I gave myself a jumping off point. So, my fact for the week this week. I kind of have a two-parter because they're both very short, and I like them both in terms of them being interesting. So, Jonah Hill. I don't know if it was during or after, or I think it was partly during, but either way, Jonah Hill was hospitalized with bronchitis because of filming Wolf of Wall Street. And he was afflicted with this condition because he said for 7 months straight, because there's so many fake coke snorting scenes in the movie, that he snorted so much vitamin D he felt like he could lift a plane over his head.
Okay, so
and so
that's
all
how
the
so
coke
it's
you
like-
see in the
Is vitamin D.
is vitamin D powder.
Okay, so
yeah.
Rocio was asking me that when it like right after the movie ended, and she's like, "Yo,
What the fuck are
what
they
the
snorting?
fuck do they do?" Like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
and my theory was like, because they even use like dollar bills where they roll it
Yep.
up, and I thought it was like a little vacuum, and they weren't actually snorting.
Oh,
anything,
you thought it
but-
was actual coke? They just
no,
weren't actually
no,
doing it?
obviously it's not
Actual
coke.
coke.
No, yeah, obviously it's not coke, but
Yeah. So
they really had to snort things. That's
so
fucked
so
up.
with in
crazy.
yeah, so like in cinema and film, right, or in TV, when you're eating for a scene and stuff like that, they have what's called a spit bucket. So like you take a bite of your burger and then you spit it out to get the next take and whatever. And so then you're not like eating like 7-course meals every
Yeah.
time you do a shot. But obviously there's no way to just like spit bucket out something that has to go up your fucking nose. So they were literally just like constantly, he said like 7 months basically every day just doing lines of fucking vitamin D.
That's ridiculous, bro.
You know what's
Um,
funny? That reminds me of a story from high school where I was in art class and I had this white eraser, and I was like, I don't know why we were doing this, but I was like erasing something on the table or something that I was drawing really vigorously. So we
Yeah.
had these like white eraser shavings all over the table, and we gathered them up in a line, and doing dumb high
Here we
school
go.
stuff. We were like, oh yeah, it's like coke, and I was just trying to get attention in high school, like, yeah, you could snort it, and I just snorted it. And, like, I in my brain I was miming it, but I just put my nose down there and snorted up eraser shavings, and it felt
How did that
terrible.
feel? Did it make you feel like you could?
So did you
No,
fucking like sneeze
you
and
know
cough and have a conniption for the next like 5 minutes? Like what happened?
I just
How
like
dirty that desk was, and you just snorted all
Yeah.
them germs.
Fucking
Oh.
rubber eraser shavings.
Nah, you know what?
I would be more worried
Yeah.
about like literal rubber getting stuck in your air passages. Like
Yeah,
fuck the
I-
germs.
You know what, David?
damn.
I kind of did. I kind of did something similar back in the
Oh,
day.
here we go.
And I was in class, and I had
He
a
had the
packet of-
sweethearts or the sweethearts.
It was Smarties, and I thought it was,
Smarties,
I thought it
Christ.
was a great idea to just crush them up, and I'm like, and it's done.
Why did you do that?
It's done,
Dude, that's like a sour
so
candy,
bad,
too.
bro.
uh
Like my inner nose and everywhere was just on fire, and I was
Oh, I
like,
fucking
I'm
bet,
never
brother.
doing that
God.
again.
I
kids
bet.
used to do that. Yeah, that's crazy.
I knew a kid who would do it with the fucking Fun Dip. Like you had like the candy sticks that you would lick and
Yeah.
dip in the powder. So that was already powdered. So they did
Bro.
they did less setup work than you two guys did. But still same idea.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's not a fun feeling.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely not gonna join you in that. I
turn
believe
you
you.
off.
So I can't imagine if, like, I don't know if everything feels like that, or if like certain things. I mean, if they're doing it with vitamin D, if it still hurts, because I know it hurts.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm pretty sure it
I'm
doesn't
sure it's not
fucking
the
feel
most
nice.
comfortable feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
The
You can get nosebleeds from doing that if it's not fine enough. That's why they chop it up so freaking finely.
yeah, I mean you
Dang.
get nosebleeds with or without it, depending. There was a kid at Miami who was like basically got told like stop doing so much coke or your nose is gonna start to fall off.
Dang.
Like your
Jesus Christ.
like your air passages are falling apart if you do more coke. Then your like cavities are gonna collapse. So yeah,
Yeah, that's always wild.
that's fun.
See,
Couldn't be me. I'm a dare representative.
Yeah, dude.
We were just talking about that before we
That
started.
cursed ass organization. What do we decide it stands for?
Drug acquisition and reselling enterprise.
Yeah, there you go.
reselling.
So yeah,
Where we
Use
rob you for your drugs and resell them on the block.
exactly. That's how it happens. Making the community better one step at a time.
Yep. Pumping the poison.
The other quick little fact for you guys. This movie is rated R, for obvious
No.
reasons.
No.
One of the reasons it's rated R is because of the
Titties.
Guinness World Record setting number of swear words in it. Do we want to guess how many F-bombs, specifically F-bombs, not just other swear words, but specifically F-bombs, were said during the 3-hour runtime of The Wolf of Wall Street?
I
Each
actually
get
think I looked this
one
up.
I
guess.
think we looked this up, yeah. 309.
Okay. Alex, David,
309.
I want to say it's in like the 500s.
what's
Oh my
what's your
God.
guess, Alex?
The 500s.
Give me a
550.
number.
550.
550.
Hey.
550.
Wow, I was gonna
David?
say like 30, but I'll go higher.
David,
These
no,
guys-
no, you're
30?
dead wrong.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, like, he says that the first 10 minutes. He says 30 times.
I don't know, 250, I guess.
250. All right, Alex is our winner. He is only 44 off. There's 506 F-bombs said in The Wolf of Wall Street, a average of 2.81 per minute.
Yeah, it was getting to me because I knew that fact going in. It was
Yeah.
kind of getting to me because
It's like over the
cursing
top.
movies. Just it's just too. It's way. It's like I mean the movie quite literally is the theme of the movie is like exaggerated greed and all
Excess,
that. So
yeah.
obviously it's gonna accompany it, but it was just getting to a point where I was like, bruh. You
Damn.
got some other words in your vocabulary.
they don't.
Man.
That's
Can't-
the point.
Can't keep
Yeah.
saying it.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So to cap that off, obviously this movie was a blockbuster. It was shown worldwide. A lot of different countries have different censorship things that they do and to get the movie seen. Like China, we talked about with the Marvel movies and whatnot, and the Middle East as well. For governmental and religious reasons, they with things like alcohol and drugs and nudity and swearing and everything
Don't watch
like that.
the movie then.
It's
Don't
it's
watch
cut.
the movie.
And so
It's cut?
the version of Wolf of Wall Street that showed in the theaters in the United Arab Emirates was 45 minutes shorter than the version shown
Holy
in
shit.
the United States.
That's how it should have been. It should have been 45 minutes shorter, but
It had close
We'll
to a
get to that.
third of the movie cut off. And
Yeah.
they mute all the swear words. So like because there's like 2.81 per minute, someone complained like, yeah, it just seemed like they weren't talking a lot of the time.
Right.
Wow.
That's insane. That's like the extreme version of how like Donda is with all the censored
right,
cuss words.
literally like the extreme version of it. That's
Mm.
a good parallel. I like that.
Crazy.
So there you go. That's what I got. It is a debaucherous movie of extreme excess, like Trevor was saying. You get a lot
Cautionary
of
tale of greed.
yes, massive greed, in every sense.
Corruption.
Corruption,
Yeah.
money, women.
I'm just gonna say this before we're just gonna jump out of here. I don't want to do like a plot.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but, like,
Fucking jump it.
when I saw Margot Robbie like completely naked, I was like, all right, I know that this is like her breakthrough. Like this is what made her a star.
Mhm.
And she was dead ass naked, like for like a lot of it. And I was like, holy shit! Like the fact that people are comfortable with just doing that, because like there's like we live in a society where like I hate that. Did I just fucking say that?
We live in a
We
society.
do live in a society.
We
I
do
can't
live in a
argue with you
society,
there,
no,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
we
You
live
make
in a
a compelling
society where it's like
argument.
it's like madly, it's like super sexualized, right? But if you show a nipple, God forbid, so
Yeah.
like seeing straight ass, she's buck
Full
ass
frontal.
naked, like
yeah.
in the first freaking scene, I'm like, holy shit, she really did this.
Supposedly, Scorsese's direction was for her to wear a robe, and Margot disagreed and said that like her character Naomi is the quote was like her only weapon in the world is sex and her body, and so she as an actress chose to be fully naked for that scene.
Wow. Yeah,
Dang.
props to her. She's gorgeous, so.
Yeah, she's fucking
Yeah.
drop dead. And she uses it effectively throughout the entire movie.
That
there
is
are
crazy,
at
yeah.
least 10 different memes that I recognized instantly as the
Yeah.
movie was
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
on.
I mean,
I was
it's-
like,
I know.
holy fuck.
It's the one scene where she tells him she's withholding sex and like
Yeah.
not gonna wear panties around
Yep.
the house and whatever, and so he gets
She's
then he
withholding.
catches her on the Teddy cam, which is hilarious.
Yep. Just imagine
in and of
doing that to
itself.
your own wife, bro.
Bro, I mean, they're just fucked up people. So it's like
Yeah, this is a
it's
man who's like,
But like I was watching it with my own eyes, like, because I would like to believe that I'm not a corrupt individual. So when I watch this kind of stuff and I put myself in those shoes, it's like, how do you get to a point where you're so far gone that you're recording your wife unknowingly for your security team to watch as she is naked?
Yeah.
That's nuts. That is
Yeah.
nutso. That's sicko.
no, there's
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of things that line up with that are nutso and sicko. So yeah,
For sure. But that is like, god damn, like breaking the rules of consent like all over the place. Like, and
Yeah.
she really didn't give a shit. I mean, she was mad for like 20 seconds, rolled out of the room, and that was it. But
Yeah.
do you like the I don't want to call it a Jersey accent. Is it like Long Island or New York or something? I don't know.
Like everyone's.
Most specifically Margot Robbie, because hers is
I thought
like
she played it off pretty
hers
well.
is
the
super
Harley Quinn
pronounced.
vibes.
Yeah, the Harley Quinn.
will- I will say I was very impressed with Leo because he obviously he's a star, but like he was yelling a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
And I can recall whenever I yell and I get migraines. So
Oh yeah.
the fact that his veins were popping out and like it was
Dude,
just
like-
like straight up 30 seconds straight of him screaming at the top of his lungs.
Especially
Yeah.
like the scenes where he's like fucking off his ass on the ludes and stuff like that, and he's like struggling, and you just see every vein in his
Yeah.
face and neck, and he's
Bro.
like foaming at the mouth, and like his
Yeah.
eyes are wide and bloodshot.
And
You're
he's
like,
fucking paralyzed, like damn
Yeah.
near paralyzed, having to drag his ass out of the wherever he was. Did you?
Yeah.
So did you like when you showed that scene and he drove home? Did you guys
Yeah.
believe that he had no scratches the first time you saw it?
I did, yeah, because
You did, okay, because they did a pretty good job to be like,
Yeah.
oh man, miraculously I got home.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
thinking in the back of my head like, there's no fucking way he got home without any scratches, and they show it.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
it's such a cutaway. Yeah, I skipped
Yeah.
right to the palsy phase. Yeah, it's that's what he calls it in
That
the
was
movie.
because I have a cousin with cerebral palsy.
Yeah, it's
So completely debilitating.
it's tough.
There's no shortage of just fricked up stuff they
Yeah.
say.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just
Yeah.
do. It's just like
Yeah.
they're debating whether like to consider like little people as humans in like the freaking
Yep.
legal contracts and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
if you don't treat them as
Like,
human,
yo,
it's
this
just
is
like,
why I fuck with you. This is why I hired you. You think of this shit.
Yeah.
I know,
that-
yeah,
that-
like it's so crazy.
As if he wouldn't think of that at
That shit
all.
was so good, yeah.
Like, yeah, no, they're kind of people, man. They go on for, but
Yeah.
like, okay, so this movie is literally excess the definition. So it even carries within the movie. Like, there's so many scenes where, personally, I would have cut short, but they just like go on. Like, there's one scene where they're like on a plane and they're in first class and they just start like fucking with the flight attendant and
Yeah.
she's just having to like buckle his seatbelt in and he can't.
Mhm.
And it's like a 2-minute long scene of nothing, but them
Yeah.
just like fucking around.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the length?
I enjoy it.
How do
I,
you-
I tend. It's,
Alex got it.
Yeah, pause.
Hey yo.
No,
I forgot. Relax.
I was gonna make a dumb joke and then Alex just chuckled and I lost it. But anyway, David, you were actually saying something relevant.
I guess, yeah. No, I mean, obviously, like, extending a take past when it normally would be isn't always the right choice. So I feel you on the plane one, but like, I think Quentin Tarantino will do this a lot, and I guess Scorsese too, where it's just like you have this scene that just goes on so far past like normal industry standards, and it just like those directors are so good that like they'll put stuff in there that keeps it interesting. So it like
Yeah.
ups my engagement level a lot when they can pull that off, and I feel like he does it mostly throughout this whole movie where it like I'm super engaged in what's going on.
Yeah, he definitely holds your immersion. Like you're really like you're in the story, which he does with a lot of the camera tricks where like the camera's passing just over the heads of the people in the crowd, or like even moving through the crowd and stuff like that, or going the opposite direction.
It's one of those movies where it is 3 hours long, but it doesn't feel like it the entire time. And by the time I got through with it, I was like, okay, I feel good. I'm not drained like I thought I would be.
Yeah.
because
It is kind of exhausting to watch though, just with the nature of the movie. It's just over the top the entire time. There's like literally no breaks
definitely
at all.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say with the length of the movie is like it is in distinct chapters and shit just keeps happening. Like every time something settles down, like you're like, okay, they got these legal troubles, he's gonna be out of the office. Oh, by the way, now we're going across the fucking Mediterranean in one of the worst storms you've ever seen.
Hurricane.
Yeah,
That scene was
like you think stuff
Came out
is
of
settling
nowhere.
down, and then it just like churns back up, and all of a sudden their life is on the line. Like it's
And then he watches his plane fucking explode out of
Yeah.
the window, which apparently
Right.
happened. Like it didn't
Wow.
happen in the same night, and it didn't happen in that nature. But apparently, a seagull flew into the turbine and blew up his PJ. Like a couple, like recently after that, those events happened, which was fucked.
It's wild, dude.
That's so
Yeah,
insane.
it's
Yeah. Wasn't that scene something like her aunt died or whatever, but her aunt was the one holding his money? He's like, it's very unfortunate, but we got business. We gotta
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that
I
seems
feel
like
him in that. I was like, bro, like it can wait, man. She's dead. She ain't going nowhere.
jeez. But that seems like the moment where she like is kind of like done with him to me. She's
Yeah.
like, bruh. You just see her have that face in the background.
Yeah.
It's like
no.
he
I
clearly
mean,
even,
doesn't
even
really
in
give a
times
frick.
of crisis like that, he was still concerned about where the drugs were
yeah,
because there's such a finite amount of them.
that's
That he was like he was so concerned that even with his life on the line, he was like, "Yo, make sure that shit doesn't get lost in the sea."
no. He
Oh,
was.
yeah,
He
he wanted
the
to get
line is
high,
like,
yeah.
I will not die sober. That's what I was gonna say.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what I was gonna say is like he plays an addict so fucking well, and it's so well directed. I mean, they all do, but like that is like addict's mentality. Like the in front of you is certain death, and your best bet is to stay put, and you're gonna tell your buddy like, go get the fucking drugs. I will not die sober.
Yeah, his delivery on like where are the lewds or get the lewds.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like I'm surprised
Because
that
he's
didn't
like
become
he's
a
like
meme.
with Naomi, and he's like trying to get fucking Jonah Hill's attention, like from across the like flooded boat, and he's like sticking his
Yeah.
leg out at him like it's gonna fucking do anything, and he's like, Donnie, get the fucking lewds, and he's like, I will not die sober. It's
Yeah.
it's yeah. His utter fucking spiral of debauchery is
Which
so
is crazy
perfectly
because,
played
like,
out.
He was
'Cause-
he was a semi-normal guy, He just passed his Series 7 to become a stockbroker, and he
Yep.
he landed his first big job, and
At a legit
apparently
spot.
his first day on the job was the what was it called, Black Monday, where it's like the largest the stock market lost like 500 points. It was like the worst thing that
Yeah.
happened since the Great Depression at the time in like the 89 or something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was late 80s.
First day on the job.
Was that literally the first day? I know it was like very immediate, but yeah. Yeah, he does. I guess he goes to lunch and then the market crashes or some shit. I don't know.
It was like his
Um,
first day as like a whatever you call it, like the actual seller, not just
Yeah.
like a whatever it was. Yeah, it was, and they show that like him. It's weird because it's like it's funny the whole time, but you can see he's slowly just getting corrupted, and then it's not even that slow. He just goes off the rails, and he's just the most.
once he jumps into the world of drugs, because he was basically like straight edge, not straight edge,
Yeah.
but like he just hadn't been exposed to that kind of
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah, not at
And
all.
so when Jonah comes in and is like, "Hey, yo, try this," that was it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like 180, complete 180 as a person.
Yeah, and then he's an addict. I mean, it was the fucking Matthew McConaughey's character, like very initially, is like, how do you do this job? He's like, hookers and blow. He's like literally
And I
like
jerk off
th-
7
this-
times a day.
yeah, you got to get those. That's the rookie numbers
You
meme. Is
gotta
like
be
he's
calm.
literally telling
You
them to
gotta
jerk
be
off
relaxed.
more often. Yeah, it's wild.
Like I do it in the morning and
but
I
he's-
do it before lunch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And so he does that, but then a narrative choice I loved for the movie that they do throughout that really keeps it all tied together is like the third person limited narration by Leo, where a lot of the times he's narrating, and even more, or not even more, but other times he's literally like looking at the camera and like doing all
and
that
talking.
doing all that stuff. And so it's when he's explaining the big scheme stuff. And so one of the best examples of that is like when he finally has the full operation set up of his firm and everything. And he's like, so we were doing this with this, and we got this many guys, and the main question is, and that's when the camera like focuses on his face, is like, was any of this legal? Absolutely
Absolutely
fucking not.
fucking not.
It's so good. There are so many like perfectly delivered lines at like the end of those sort of monologues or scenes like that. Where it's just like they center your focus and then they deliver. And so they hammer that home many times, and it's really, really good creative direction.
I liken it to like a breakdown in like a metal song where like they'll scream something right before it hits, or even EDM does it. You know, where let's sing like 4 words and then the shit happens and it just drops. It's just like the same thing for me.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. They'll control the room a lot and like sort of give you like the wide angle, tight angle type stuff with the cameras. Where like when he sits down at that job selling stocks at like the new place, and he gets on the phone like when he first starts trying to sell the penny stocks, and he sits down and he's on the phone with the guy and he's like giving him the sales pitch that actually works, and he's sweet talking him and he's like, I'll get you in here, take you out here, it'll be great, bing bang boom. And like as he's doing it, the room like quiets down and they all like start to look at him, and he's like, it gives him that focus and control and stuff like that, and he's like, okay, thanks, great, I'll put it in now, I'll transfer you over he's like, I'll transfer you over my assistant Donna or whatever, and it's just like this old lady who smokes 3 packs a day like staring at him in the corner, and it's and the guy just looks at him and goes, how the fuck did you do that? And so it's such perfect little deliveries like that.
And there's a lot of moments
that
too
happen
where
over and over.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments where they don't go into the minute details of how their scheme exactly worked, but they give you a certain like overview of the definitions that they're talking about. So like an IPO, they explain what that
Steve
was
Madden.
when they met Steve Madden. I definitely appreciated those moments too. The movie itself isn't overly complicated to the point where if you don't have any background in finance, you're not going to follow it. Like it was pretty simplified. It was appreciated.
No, it's to be understood. They don't take you down any sort of paths that you're just going to be like, okay, my enjoyment of the movie is confused or ruined. Like if you don't understand something, you still understand, oh, they're making fuckloads of money and none of it is legal, and I'm watching all the byproducts. Yeah. So without understanding any exactly. Without understanding any of the nitty-gritty details, you still get the point. So
yeah.
Absolutely. Crazy fucking movie, bonkers.
All right, so we're a good little chunk through the podcast. Has everybody's lewds kicked in? I had you guys take them 2 hours before the show.
Oh shit!
Whether or not,
scared, when I saw that scene, I was like, I know where this is going. I don't know how hard it's gonna hit him, but I know where this is going.
The fucking delayed fuse on those Quaaludes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, probably.
That was one of the things
it was like a long 15-minute sequence.
That sequence.
That was one of the things they explained more than anything else was how Quaaludes work.
I couldn't get through.
I know. Yeah, he just loses his ability to speak, and then
Jonah,
but that's such an insane scenario. Is it like getting as fucked up as you've ever been in your entire life and unable to control your own actions as you realize that the feds have just about everything they fucking need on you to take you down, and that that clash of emotion and symptoms. So like, go ahead, David.
No, yeah, it just leads to him having to roll down the stairs and just.
The stairs. The funny shit was like when they showed it from his perspective, and it was like 70 stairs, and then you get to like where his like Ferrari or Lamborghini is, and it's like 8 stairs.
Yeah, and him like
that's how he looks at it.
When he has to save Jonah, and you got Popeye on the screen, and he takes the cocaine to counteract the Quaaludes, and it's like his spinach.
Yeah,
bro. That was so like. Perfect.
Just to think to do that, just to have fucking anything on the TV, let alone have it be like that perfect visual metaphor of like Popeye takes his spinach to power up and fucking Jordan Belfort snorts coke, like that. This is the case.
I thought he was gonna die. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, like
that would have been crazy.
He was knocking on death's door like for a while.
Yeah, I don't know how people do it.
No fucking way, bro.
How does that feel? Yeah, how do you come down off of that? I guess he was just, God, I don't know. It pretty perfectly to me. Definitely just shows you, or like sets the tone and shows you what this lifestyle is like, and it gives you a good idea of, okay, his one major skill is that he can sell stuff, and then that led to all this. Like if you're willing to just go for it, then you can just make as much money as like anyone could possibly spend and just manipulate the entire market to your will,
Yeah.
basically, and
Yeah,
it's
it's a message
On
of like
penny stocks, no less.
if you just entirely abandon ethics at the door, you can get the market system to work for you extremely well. Which is a lesson that a lot of people have learned through experience on both sides of that fucking dollar, many times.
Yeah. And then on the consequences side, how did you guys feel about the FBI agent who was like hunting him down? I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
It was definitely an interesting dynamic because it was like you knew that he had a finite amount of time to enjoy this lifestyle, so it was like only a matter of time before he could crack him down.
Yeah.
That scene
I
on the
think-
yacht was hilarious though.
Yeah,
On the dock?
I was mad
Yeah.
confused on the yacht just because like I'm like they're having a normal conversation and now he's cursing them out. I'm like, what just happened? And I'm like, are you bribing me?
Because-
And-
How about you
Yeah,
guys get the
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
off my boat?
Yeah, no, it turns 180 real quick, but that's because he realizes he can't sway them. Like he's dealing with an FBI agent, not some corrupt cop.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he can't sway him, but he borderline bribes him, but not word for word, and that's why he wanted him to repeat what he said. And that's why he was like, "All right, alarms are going off. Get the fuck off. Like, get out of here."
Yeah.
That GIF, I've seen it a million times where he has the Tom Fords on and he's just laughing and he's just, like that. There's so many fucking memes in this movie. It's just gold,
right.
bro.
Yeah, I mean, Leo just emotes so fucking hard, and so
Every movie he's in has a meme.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
True.
Yeah.
There was another one that I thought was from Great Gatsby, but it's from this one where he's dancing, and he's doing the like everything. I'd forget what it is, but yeah.
Isn't the,
I don't know.
what's the
It's
one where
like
he's holding the drink and he's like
that's Gatsby, I think. Yeah.
That is Gatsby.
I thought so. I thought that
When
was
he's like
from the
when
same
he's
thing,
like toasting like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Gatsby.
Yeah.
That's Gatsby. There's one in like Once Upon a Time where he's like, I think that's where that was
where he's pointing at the TV.
He's pointing at the TV in that one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's one. Was he in Django Unchained?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like one of the main
that
guys.
was the one where he's like,
or maybe the main
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
for like, it's literally like 2 frames. I don't even know how people meme this shit.
Yeah.
It's Leo. Dude.
I mean, it is.
It is
just him.
Leo.
Like
But
this
yeah.
movie itself was such a freaking touchstone. Like I just saw it now, but like back in high school and stuff, like I had to hear people talk about it like so much, not knowing what the frick was going on with it. And you get
Imagine
like
watching it as a high schooler though.
I know. Well, that's kind of my an interesting thing I was thinking about watching it was you got a lot of dudes who aspired to be like him or the people who are around him, and I just thought there's like this thing with movies like this where you're showing this kind of lifestyle where you can just get people that are like, oh yeah, sounds good, like I'm down, like he made money and he was like an alpha or whatever, he was like a big man, and
They'll completely ignore the consequences.
that
right.
that song that I was talking about, Jordan Belfort, got
Right.
played at many tailgates, both that I was at and that were around me.
Unironically, I'm
like
sure.
there's I saw a meme video the other day of like a kid that's like in the business school trying to be Jordan Belfort, and like he's like, dude, fuck off, I'm doing homework. It's like, dude, you're just watching The Wolf of Wall Street. He's like, yeah, homework. And so it's stuff like that. And but it really is like that, where kids are like, Jordan Belfort's my hero. Like the fact that he can fuck the system up that much just for his own gain is dope and sick and everything. And it really is that way, where especially with that boat scene, like you were saying, in our lives in the real world, one would argue that usually the law enforcement agencies that we have are the protagonists, and those who break laws are the antagonists of that sort of setup. Whereas in this movie, he's the clear protagonist, where he's like the guy, the central character, the one you're rooting for. Maybe he's like, an anti-hero, like you talk about some sort of stuff where like he's morally unsound, but he's like fucking the system, and so fuck the system. Like that's great. We're gonna do what we want to do because we're ballers. We're doing this. But that's the exact point. Is like God damn it! I lost my train of thought. Fuck me. I was there. I had it.
We're at the station.
Well, I think for me it's like I love the way he portrays the character. I don't like the character himself because he's such a douchebag. Like
He's a literal like piece of shit, like scum of the earth.
Yeah, like from the jump, like when he leaves his wife like just like that, It's just
Yeah.
like what? Like what?
Yeah.
Like that's
and-
so foul. Like
Yeah.
from that moment, I'm like,
For the
this guy,
Duchess
man.
of New Jersey or whatever her name was.
Yeah,
Long
Yeah.
Island. I think.
Like-
I think
Long
that's
Island.
like he's just a scum. Like
he
I can't
is.
imagine watching this like in high school. Like even now, this tainted a part of my soul watching
Oh,
this movie.
yeah,
Like,
that's what I was gonna say. Was
Painted a part of
how
my soul.
how would it be like watching that in high school and not maybe fully gripping the morals of the thing and like just seeing that this guy is super cool because he has all this money and all this stuff, and not understand and thinking like the FBI guy who's just doing his job is like some sort of jerk off, like he's the worst person you've ever seen, because like why wouldn't he just let Jordan Belfort live and like whatever.
Right. Just
so,
living mom.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of perspective change that would be based on when you watched it or how you watch it.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because to have the movie like this in the detail it is, and obviously it's based off his memoir, so you have to have him as a protagonist. But in a more standard movie, that FBI agent would be the protagonist. He's like the untouchable, uncorruptible guy who just brings down the bad guy. And like Jordan Belfort is like to me, he's like the real life threat that we face in the country. Like he's the actual like modern day bad guy that like is, like we said, he embodies greed and just wrecks. He uses the system as it is to just wreck everyone below him, and like it's just crazy. And you toe a fine line when you make a movie like this, because like he's charismatic and funny and handsome, and like, but the point is that like at the end of the day that like even his money doesn't amount to anything when you abandon everything else, right? Like by the end of it, he just, to try to maintain control because his wife doesn't love him anymore, he like beats her up literally and like tries to
dude, can we talk about that scene, bro?
I was gonna that's what was
the most impactful to me.
It was
the most
horrible to watch.
That was
awful.
Just because I mean, it's even just everything from the way like they angled it was just crazy. Like because like it's such a unique camera angle where it zooms out and it just shows him walking down the hall and you just boom, and he's like, "You're not taking my kids," and then he goes and gets the kids.
Just freaks out, and the whole. I got really hard Eminem vibes like from the first album, where it's like the Bonnie and Clyde shit. Like, yeah, I killed your mom, and hey Haley, we're gonna go have a nice trip.
Yeah,
and damn near kills himself behind the wheel and the kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's super cool what they do where you're talking about with the camera angles, where you get more of a feeling that you're witnessing it rather than it's being shown to you, right? Where like the entire movie this is exposition, this is like we want you to see this and everything, and then I think it's like a low camera angle from all the way down the hall that you see him like hit her and whatever and storm off, and then he takes the kid and puts him in the car. But yeah, it's like you're being made to see this. You're not being shown it, basically. Like it's happening to you rather than in front of you.
Right.
So that was that was cool. This is the scene that when Trevor earlier you were talking about with when she was on camera like naked or whatever in front of the security guys. You were like, that's foul. I was like, that's foul. It gets worse. Like that's what I was thinking in my head is like there's so many levels of like fucked up domestic sexual everything being just not exactly on the up and up.
No.
And that's
and the crazy thing is that kind of shit happens.
What is that like? Absolute power corrupts absolutely, that kind of a thing where you just have all this fucking money and everything in the world to do with it, and you just become a shell of a person and you just operate based on indulgences and things like that, and what you in impulse, like just not
hedonism,
not even thinking hedonism, not even thinking a single fucking thing through, just doing what strikes you in the moment. And that's the whole thing where like he sees this beautiful girl and he's like, wife, what wife? And like just starts like doing it with her, and would have stayed married probably until he got caught, and he gets caught and then he just marries the other girl, and then he goes off doing a bunch of fucking drugs and like
but do you guys feel like
hookers
this
the entire
moment,
time too?
Yep.
So.
Yeah. That was.
Do you guys feel like this moment is almost like a mini arc, sort of, in a sense where like the initial reaction is, "You're not taking my kids from me," because of his conviction for his children or his daughter or whatever. Then he takes his daughter, and then he goes crazy, and then like I feel like almost at the end of that scene, he kind of realizes that like he's definitely not fit to raise her. Like that's why he just lets her take her.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and you can also see in that scene like nothing they've talked about before, but also like what happened in the movie The Help, where like the help
love
ends
that
up
movie.
the help ends up being more of a parental figure to the child than the actual parents. And so there's that woman who is like a nanny or a nurse or what have you, like screaming, crying, like more upset than anyone else involved, like that the child is being taken. And so like that's just another thing is like, yeah, that's your daughter, but like how much are you like actually in her life at all? Like basically not at all, probably.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
so
Right. Like you're
yeah,
not
it's just
willing to
like
be.
every single aspect of his life falls apart and
Mhm.
rips apart at the seams because he's so obsessed with gain and with greed.
Yeah, like he's not willing to actually be a good husband or a good father. He just wants to have a child and a wife that are like he possesses them almost. Like they're
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
thing to add to his
collection.
treasure.
Those
or
are
whatever.
more things that he controls, not like valuable relationships that he values. Valuable values. Good job. We're really using the whole freaking synonyms.
Dictionary.
Thesaurus. There we go.
Yeah.
Thesaurus there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. It's intense.
it is. It's just I don't know. It's a wild mix of like so many emotions and tones that never really gives me any kind of whiplash or just brings me out of the moment somehow. Like it seems like would be a very hard thing to accomplish, but they had all the right people working on it, I guess. And
An all-star cast, to say the very least.
Yeah, dude.
Jay, you know your movie is gonna do something when McConaughey is only in it for 5 minutes.
exactly. Yeah.
McConaughey is a
Like,
side
like,
character.
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's damn good.
Yeah.
Also, in the one of my favorite podcast hosts, Henry Sombrowski from the last podcast on the left, has an acting role in this. He's Otter, the fat ginger guy, like super pale white guy that's like part of that original crew. He's in there.
That's pretty cool.
So he
They
was.
started
I found that.
off names and like bios when they first got together, and I was
Yeah.
like, I am forgetting this the
I
second
found
you guys
I
start
found that
talking about
interesting
it.
because his one of his longer roles was as like a demon on a show called Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, and so like he as a like he's not a Tom Cruise, he's not a Leo, like he's not a good looking like this is your leading character kind of guy, and that's what him and several of his like compatriots in that little sort of first collection of guys where it was like these don't look like stunning, like put together, like well-spoken guys. Like it's Jonah Hill, who is like in a more overweight phase. You got the Otter, and so they all just look like guys. They're all just sloppy. They don't necessarily like put themselves together too well, which is what they're designed to be. Because the movie sort of makes a point of like, as long as you can sell people shit, it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, what you do. Like, as long as you have your way with words, as long as you're over the phone, then you're gonna make this money. So that was like an interesting thing where it was like, this isn't the most gorgeous people, but that's the kind of the point.
Yeah. And the way they portray them in The Office when they're just at the top of the world and they just start acting like apes and just like
literally
grunting and like just it's
apparently that fucking scene where he swallows the goldfish, that was real.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Jesus.
He swallowed an
One that
actual live
swallows the
goldfish.
Not the scene in the movie, but that actually happened in real life. Like, that was part of the story of Jordan Belfort.
I believe it.
Yeah.
There's not too many parts in this movie that were exaggerated from the videos and research that I've done on the side. It's pretty tried and true.
Dang.
Like very close to what actually happened.
Nuts.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's an insane
That
life.
scene on the boat,
Deserves
the
a
yacht,
retelling.
didn't actually happen though.
Oh, okay.
The boat didn't go down.
No. Well,
The
he
FBI
actually,
one?
I believe he actually did that, but I
was gonna
where
say-
he confronts him on the yacht
Oh, the FBI interaction.
didn't actually happen. He didn't. I don't think they met face to face until he arrested him at his home. So
Probably that makes sense.
Yeah.
Usually you don't
That's-
go see
no,
the object of an
usually
ongoing
you're not aware
investigation.
that an FBI investigation is happening.
Well, you can be aware of it. You won't like it's. I don't know.
You won't.
I'm not going to talk
You
out
won't
of my ass.
interface with the guy. Yeah.
I'm not going to
Yeah,
pretend
it was-
like I know about fucking.
Yo,
Neither do. Yeah.
Investigations.
neither do I.
Can we talk about though at the like towards the end, he like out of all this intricacies and logistics, he doesn't get rid of the note that says "I'm wearing a wire." You
Oh
get rid of
yeah.
that. You burn it.
That part was really painful, bro.
They found it. Like that's what they found and used it. And like, bro,
Yeah,
what are
I
you
know.
doing?
Yeah.
How did they get that? Yeah, that scene
Like-
was great where he shows it to
Yeah.
him and everything.
Yeah, it was
but-
great.
And then
It
it's
was
just
great, but
All
like,
he did was walk up into the foyer and be like, shows it to
Yeah.
him.
yeah,
geez.
no.
You
And
fucking
how did
idiot.
you on the one of the last scenes that really struck me was like when the FBI agent, because he talks about like, oh, you're riding the subway, you're freaking like sticking to the seat, and you get all these people, and it's just like I'm on a yacht, and then at the very end of the movie, after he gets arrested, they show the FBI agent riding the subway, just looking around like, all right, I did it.
Yep.
What do you guys think they were trying to like say that was like a positive thing or just a neutral thing? Like I didn't know how to take that scene. It was really interesting though.
Mm.
I
I
would
don't
take
remember
it
that
as
specific part, but
I would take it as neutral. I think it's the juxtaposition that they're trying to make throughout the entire movie, basically, of like lavish and ridiculous versus like the hardworking everyday man. And it's like what is success, right? Like is Jordan Belfort more successful because like without getting caught? Is he more successful because even though he's a terrible fucking human being, he has all this money and material possession? Or is the FBI agent a more successful person because he's got, presumably some sort of a family and he has people who care about him and he works like a steady job that isn't like morally questionable whatsoever. It's actually the upholding of morals and ethics. So you say like you got these two basically completely opposite people and one of them in the end wins in that one catches the other. The one guy does his job and puts Jordan Belfort in jail. But then that's just his life. That's not like some major triumph for him. It's not like you take him down and get all his money and then
he
you
just
become,
goes on to
and then
the
you
next
become
one.
the new king. He just goes on to the next one. He's just like that's just like that'll always be a chapter in his life, but it might not even be the most exciting one. Like it's just his day to day, and so that was like the extreme like technically that could be Jordan Belfort if he was in some mid-range stock trading job day in day out instead of like having gone up so many levels and doing so much insane shit. But yeah.
And certain people would be inclined to agree with people that say that Jordan Belfort was the more successful one, even though his morals were completely off the rails,
Yeah,
basically
I guess by
non-existent.
definition.
But yeah, well,
yeah. It's like what is
monetarily he is obviously more successful, but
Yeah.
at
Not
the
in
end
the
of the
long
day,
term.
it gets him
Not in the long term, right?
What do we
Right,
talk
yeah.
about that? How much is he in the hole for right now?
100 million. I think he had to repay like 110 million that he had siphoned out.
Yeah, I mean it was probably he probably lost a fuck ton of money that he gained illegally and then had ass loads of court fees and stuff like that, and then also probably massive fines. I know he's out. He's on the street. He's verified on TikTok, like I was saying.
Yeah, I mean
so-
he
When you
makes a
kidnap
living
Hasbro.
literally like having like selling trade or
seminars, yeah.
right,
which
yeah.
is
And
That's
it's
how they
cool
end-
because
which
I
they
kind
show
of
in the movie.
when I first
Yeah.
I kind of freaked out when I saw him at the very end and I was like, oh shit, that's actually him! Like holy shit! Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
even know how to feel
Wait,
like
what?
after that. Jordan is at the very end of the movie. I don't know if you know what he looks like, but that
No, I
that
don't know.
scene.
Yeah.
Okay, well you've never seen the Jordan Belfort?
no.
Okay,
He's-
well, he's the guy at the very end at that seminar, and then he brings out Leo, who's his counterpart in the movie, playing him,
Yeah.
and he tells him to sell a pen, and he gives
So
him like
that-
7 seconds to sell
So
him a
he was-
pen, which
yeah,
was like
yeah.
that
He's like,
fucking that scene was
I love
great.
this pen. You can write with this pen.
Right, but like if he wasn't gripping within like 3 seconds, he would literally take it, no words
Right,
asked, no questions asked, on to the next one,
Right.
and. I think he did an interview, the real Jordan Belfort. He did an interview on one of those mainstream quote unquote news platforms, and they asked him to sell him a pen. So he really did it on national TV, like selling them a pen. It's like
That's pretty cool.
complete full circle.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Jeez.
crazy ending.
Yeah, the ending was crazy. Just seeing
Everything's
where he
crazy.
ended up. Yeah.
It's a
Well, yeah.
really good start to finish. It's never like you don't feel like you missed out on much. You don't feel like they undertold the story at any point.
No,
and
if anything, they
like
oversold.
like you said, it is exhausting, but it feels exhausting in a good way. Like you just spent the last 3 hours being thoroughly entertained. Is how I felt. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's top tier movie making. It like that's end of the day. That's what it is. It's pure entertainment based on true events.
yeah.
Yeah.
Scary
It
events.
was I had watched it a while ago. I don't even know when, a few years ago. And so when I rewatched it, I was like, I wonder how this is gonna go, because I already remember like this goes into this, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then massive plot twist in the movie as the whole fucking boat goes down and like all this crazy stuff. And so like I already knew that was coming. So I was like, with me knowing what I'm walking into, like how entertaining will this still be? And it was still very entertaining. It was very rewatchable. And I mean, obviously it's a visually stunning, very immersive movie, like we've been saying the entire time. So it's it's worth your time, even if you've already seen it, I'd say. Just not if you don't
Even
have
if you've
3
already seen
hours
it,
to
go
spare.
watch it again, you bastard.
Yeah.
Watch it before you listen to this whole podcast. Oh wait, you've already listened to the whole podcast, and now I'm telling you to go watch it. Fuck.
Dang.
Oh no.
Go watch it again.
Go watch it again. Go watch it right now.
Indeed.
Now that you're back from watching The Wolf of Wall Street for the third time,
How did you feel about it?
How did you feel about it? Let us know in the comments.
Did you
down
love
below.
it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it?
Let us know in the 5-star Apple Podcast reviews for sure. YouTube comments, all that good stuff. Do you want to
Give the rating that you would give the movie to us.
Yes.
How about that?
There you go. Unless you would rate it below 5 stars, then don't.
And don't even review it at all. We don't want to hear about you. We don't want to hear from you.
5 stars. Okay. Anyway.
Right.
No, we want to hear about you.
We're trying to get verified. If Jordan Belfort can get verified on TikTok, then we should be able to. So
That is a horrible equivalency.
I'm just saying, we're better than him.
We are
There you
better.
go.
Well, yeah, I would like to think I'm better than him. Yeah.
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 I like to
Does anyone
think
else
so.
have final
A little
thoughts, or
more
do we
on
want to
it, Yeah.
let David take
Yeah.
us out?
We can just take it out. Fine.
Yeah.
Take
Do you
it
guys
out.
feel like rating this, or
Let's do it. Let's
wrap
give it a
up?
rating.
Yeah.
We know
So
we rate.
yeah. Yeah. I like. I just think it portrayed everything very exactly how it should have been. Like, I don't know how you could portray this whole story better. So, and it's just so entertaining, but also has deep, undercurrents and themes and messages. So, I don't have too many complaints. I'll give it like a 9, honestly. I think it's
Nice.
great. I see why it's a modern classic at this point. So,
Yeah, I would be comfortable with calling it a modern classic.
yeah.
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 Definitely.
It's just one of those it's one of those movies where you just say in random conversation, and most of the time people are gonna agree with you. Be like, oh yeah, that movie is crazy.
movie
was
That
sick. Yeah.
movie is super solid.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm good with a 9 as well. I'll roll with a 9.
Nice.
Roll the 9, huh? How you feel, Alex?
Yeah, I like it a lot. It is very excessive, but in its benefit, I'll give it an 8. That's why I'm comfortable with.
I think I'm with you on that. I think I'm gonna give it a solid 8, and I think the only reason why is because I usually do like to rewatch movies, and I don't think I'll want to rewatch this one just because it's so fucking long.
Yeah.
I think if it was like half an hour shorter, maybe even 40 minutes, which it could. I really think that they could do it if they
Watch
wanted
the-
to.
Watch the United Arab Emirates version.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, the airtime that they do have, they just, they fill it, and they fill it good. No pause. But yeah, no, it's a solid fucking movie, man. I'll give it a solid 8.
Yeah.
It's a little
Also-
too long for rewatchability for me, but
There was a lot of sex scenes, but not many of them lasted long. Leo plays a good 2 pump chump kind of a guy.
Okay.
and
yeah.
they basically apparently, like, one of the big no-nos, you can't show vagina, and you can't show butthole, and you can't show men's penises, at least in like rated R movies, from what Rocio told me. But that movie, that there's a part in the movie where you get to see Jonah's schlong, and it like pops out of his pants.
it does.
And
Yeah, because he's like
when they first
jerking
meet
off in the middle of the
when they first meet
in the middle of the party.
Duchess. Yeah, and you just see his schlong just fucking like hanging out, and like
I didn't realize that because I like avoided eye contact with his schlong, so I was just like looking up.
I was
at
dead
the
ass
top.
looking. I was like,
That's-
"There's no way they're gonna show it, right? Are they gonna show it?" And I don't think it's his actual penis, but
Yeah,
Can't
they have,
imagine-
like,
Go back and rewatch it.
Can't imagine
I won't.
wild.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
that
go
was-
back and rewatch that scene.
That was
I don't
wild
think-
because he was just in the middle of everybody, just like
bro. That's
Yeah.
just they were trying to
In front
get
of his wife?
The point across. Yeah, they were trying to get the point across that she was so hot. That,
yeah, but it's like I don't know. Yeah, what kind of
Oh,
girl
what do you
do you have
expect
to
from a
be?
guy who married his first cousin, bro?
I guess that's true, but I don't think under any circumstances I would just
No, I
Yeah.
mean that's
We didn't even mention
drop
that
everything
part.
I'm doing
that
there.
was the thing, was like being so immensely
Enamored.
drunk and high, and just like losing all
true.
self-respect for yourself, where you just whip it out in the middle of a party and everyone can see you embarrassing yourself to such a degree.
Yeah.
But I mean that's literally a form of sexual assault. So
Yeah, harasser and a sex pest and a
yeah,
just
Sex pest.
sex
yeah,
pest.
crazy freaking
I've never heard of
debaucherous dude. Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Definitely do not jerk off in public, please. You will become a sex offender.
Yes,
Take us
that is
out.
our
A registered
PSA.
sex offender.
Sagittarius,
from-
David.
Oh, okay. Well, first,
Sagittarius.
real
Oh, damn.
quick, we're gonna try to be covering next week for you guys the big music news, Donda versus Certified Lover Boy.
Ooh.
Not that they need to be
Goodness.
verses, but we'll compare and contrast like we did when we were writing essays, and we'll just talk about them and have a good time. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about an album that has nothing to do with Certified Lover Boy and Certified Lover Boy having everything to do with Donda. So
Is
Yeah.
it'll
David
be a
trying
fun.
to
It'll
tell
be a
me?
fun episode.
Is David trying to tell me that I gotta listen to Donda now?
I still personally have not finished that album, brother.
Me
Gotta
neither,
bite
dude.
that bullet.
I listened
What was your fucking prediction, Trev? I guess we'll dig it back up when we
I
actually
had
do
like
the episode
16
next week.
tracks at 54 minutes, so I was definitely off.
You thought it,
CLB.
one of them I thought you said was
Oh,
going to be mad
CLB.
short. I think you said Donda was going to be like 36 minutes or something.
I thought it was gonna be 12 songs.
It's like an hour. It's like a fucking
And it was-
hour
I was
45 or some shit
completely
like
wrong.
He-
I was. It's the
yeah.
longest album I've ever personally seen.
that. Jesus Christ.
Dang.
Or felt?
I'll give you this piece of advice.
Or heard.
Probably just listen to the part twos once, and then you don't have to listen to them again, in my opinion. So maybe you can make it shorter with that.
Yeah, you can shave off like 6 tracks because the first one you don't ever have to listen to again, and then the part 2s I'm assuming are insignificant, like you're saying. So,
Bro, you don't listen
Yeah,
to Donda chant every time you throw on Donda?
bro, I would throw my phone if I had to throw that back on.
Dang.
All right, we'll give all the
We will give all
banter
our
in that episode.
Yes. And that's what's great about Unboxing Life podcast. We talk about this 8-year-old movie, going back, and then we're just talking about current stuff, man. It's just whatever we're interested in, and we hope you guys can
Jumping around.
dig it.
Find
So
some value in it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's been real, everybody. Thanks for listening. May you be at peace with yourself and just have,
After
You
this
know.
movie,
I don't know, be relaxed and no anxiety. You know what I'm talking about? Just chilling, going through life, having a good time.
Good wishes, good vibes. Love that.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I mean, another music box. Not music
Music
box. Movie
box.
box.
Wow.
Another music box is coming your way. Another
True.
movie box. One
Mhm.
and done.
Box office.
Box office. There you go.
Did I call it
Uh,
movie box to start with? I might have.
no, I don't even know.
Oh no, my bad. Box
Let
office.
us know if we
movie
fucked up.
Who knows? But yep, another one. We'll look forward to the next episode of Unboxing Life because we're gonna be coming to you hot. You know, we don't do cold. No ice in the winter, but yeah, listen to You Don't Know because I would be
Come with the
listening.
fire in the hell.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, thank you for listening, and I do love you all.
If you as
Can I
one
get
of-
out of here?
If you, as one of our lovely viewers or listeners, would like to catch us on socials, that's going to be at Unboxing Life Pod on Instagram and Twitter, at Unboxing Life Podcast on TikTok. We are r/Unboxing Life Podcast as well. So rack them up. We'll be on Pinterest in 5 minutes, I bet.
In 5 minutes.
So, yeah, catch us on all those things. Like I said before, 5-star Apple Podcast reviews. Those help us massively because the algorithm works entirely off of reviews for Apple Podcasts. So if we want to blow up on there, we need the reviews. So help us out. If you love us, we love you. Like Alex just said. Other than that, I got nothing else, I don't think. So we will see you next time. Thank you for listening. Obviously, Trevor's going to say his bit, but before that, I want you to all stay safe, look out for each other, and be kind to each other.
Yeah. No, well said. I don't really have too much else to sign off with. I love you, boys. I'm glad that we're still doing our podcast. And apologies for
It's been a minute.
for our lack of schedule, integrity. We're kind of working out some kinks right now, but we were planning on doing a Nas episode. It's not gonna happen in the near future. We were also planning on doing, an anime box, and that didn't really get covered. So we're working out some kinks, but I want to take this time out to remember to get vaccinated. Please go get that shot, baby boy. And if you have already been vaccinated and it's turning around 6 months, go get that booster shot whenever it's approved.
That's true. It's coming out.
Yeah, man. Do the thingy. Do the thingy for the greater good.
My aunt's already got her booster, actually. So
Pfizer's FDA
shout out
approved.
to your aunt.
yeah, I think they're doing it for people with certain like comorbidities, certain other health issues that can correlate with it, and probably be more mainstream out there to everyone soon. I guess the booster. But
Yeah,
man.
it's kind of scary because the vaccination rate in Florida is kind of stagnating, even with all the incentive programs that they have. So it's kind of
good. You can
kinda
protect
shaky.
your fellow human, and you know what I mean. We don't. Yeah, we. It would be nice if we saw some sort of end to COVID at some point in time, and not just this perpetual hell cycle, this wheel that's crushing us every time we spin around. It just whatever.
I don't personally see an end to it, just with the way the last year and a half has gone. But I would love to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
Not to turn this into COVID-19 talk, but yeah, go get vaccinated. Love you all. Thanks for listening. Peace out, baby.